Right, so let's just start. Well, others will join in, right? Okay. So we had been doing verse number 4, 5, 6, and can I have verse number 4, 5, 6 on the screen? Yeah, yeah. So when we were doing verse number 4, 5, 6, I had read it out, and then finally I said that all these names which are given here, Duryodhana, Virat, Duprad, these are all the warriors who had come to help the positive forces, that is the Pandav, in this battle. And this is what the translation is in most of the Bhagavad Gita. But what I said that these all these warriors which are given here, when we do Sandhi Viched, which means that when we dissect the names of these in which are given in Sanskrit and see the underlying reality of these words, we find that they are totally different. We had also shown. Can I also see this life and consciousness? Niche le jao usko. Please take it down. And where we had on the screen, if we can have it, chakras, all the chakras which were given here. Let me just have them here. Yeah. So what we had done that for the last 4 sessions, we had been talking about this sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, and then we started looking at the central nervous system, and we said that these are the glands which are responsible for the nervous operation of the nervous system. And ye niche le jao, just more. Yeah, these are the things. And we called on the cerebrospinal column. Not only the glands are located, but all the energy centers we call as energy centers of life and consciousness, they are located on this. The importance of giving the knowledge about sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system is that when we have to look at our own body, or when we find that in our body, both mind and this life and consciousness, which is be defined as the astral body, all these chakras are located on the astral body. They are not physical. The chakras are not physical, but the glands are physical. And these are the places from where we have experience. The mind undergoes experience. The mind is governed by the field of life and consciousness, and therefore we had put such a lot of emphasis on chakras, or we had put a lot of importance on the cerebrospinal column, the two parts here, sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. What happens to the mind? The mind, after receiving the signals, when the buddhi dissect, gets information. This information is then seen by the I, that is me, who am I. This information, when seen by the I gets attached to the objects of perception and then create emotions. So all thoughts, emotions, and feelings are interconnected with the physical activity of the body. The mind is in turmoil, mind is in tension, mind has got traumas and tragedies, mind has its own stories to tell, and all these stories are what bother us the most. Yesterday I had put in a small video in which we had been talking about the mind. Our problem is we do not know where is the mind. Mind, intellect, ego, they are all non-local and non-material. And because they are non-local, non-material, the wounds or the hurt that we feel in the mind, when we feel it in the mind, we want to cure ourselves, but we don't know how. Where is the mind? Because we do not know where is the mind, and therefore our problem is that what do we do? For that, there is only one way, and that one way is that we have have to take help of spiritual practices. This particular Bhagavad Gita session, which is currently for 6 sessions, these 6 sessions, I'll just take a minute. I'll just take. Okay. This Bhagavad Gita session, which is currently for 6 sessions, talks only about the mind. The mind's propensities and proclivities, mind's problems. And then, while we were talking of the problems of the mind, suddenly we now realize that this mind, which is located on the cerebrospinal column, also has the positive tendencies. And so now we are talking about the positive tendencies. And the positive is, see, in last 3 sessions, we have already talked, rather last 4 sessions, we have already talked about it. So if you have any questions, because I see a lot of people who are probably new, and if it is possible, I again request ki please switch on your video so that I could look at some faces at least and be with you. The dark screen somehow bothers you a lot, because then I'm not able to connect with you guys, right? So thank you very much. In the Mahabharat is the story where dispersion. First we said that in the first lecture I had said Bhagavad Gita is the story of creation, preservation, and dissolution. Mahabharat is the story. Mahabharat is the story where entropy or disorder is increasing. You will find that every single character of the Mahabharata is controversial. Every single character is controversial, and we have got a lot of confusion, lot of contradictions, lot of conflict which arises. But the Bhagavad Gita, which is at the top of this Mahabharata battle, is the story of now resolution. This is the story where everything which has been dispersed is taken back. Therefore, the Bhagavad Gita is known as the science of yoga. I will not use the word yoga. You guys are mostly from South Africa and UK, where this word yoga is being used. But I will keep using the word yoga, which is derived from the word yuj. Yuj means joining together. It's a addition. Addition of what? When we say story of creation, from the singularity, the universe started. Let's say when we say singularity, there was one. So let's, for convenience sake, I'm not religious, we are talking of spirituality. Let's say from various point of views of religion, they say God created the universe. Who was there besides the God? Nobody. God is supreme. God is that. But when we start to talk in scientific terms, we suddenly start to realize, oh my God, there is something known as a vacuum, where all forces of nature are joined together in an infinitesimally small particle which has got no dimension. So from that singularity, we started to create the universe. And when the universe was being created, entropy or the disorder started to increase. How will this disorder will become orderly? Scientifically speaking, this disorder, which is started from the Big Bang, then gets resolved into a black hole. And we from spiritual angle start to talk that this is yoga. You'll have to do yoga. Yoga means this disorder to orderliness. I take it my mind, I'm very disorderly. Disorder means I'm very perturbed. I have pain in my mind. I have hurt. I have wounds in my mind. How do I assimilate? How do I come out of it? And to come out of it, we take the help of yoga. And that yoga is joining of this disorder with order. Can I have this image of prism? So I'll just explain the concept. The concept is their singularity. If I ask what is the color of this light here, you'll say it is kind of colorless. Yes, very good that it is colorless. We understand that it is colorless. But when you pass this color through a prism, then this colorless light gets converted into 7 colors. Can I have that on the screen, please? Colorless color. Any problem? Okay, never mind. So what I want to say that if you pass it through the prism, prism, it becomes 7 colors. Where have the colors come from? We realize that the colors were there in the colorless, but they were unmanifest in the unmanifest state. And when they pass, they disperse. How do I now make it into a single color? Then the same 7 colors, if passed through an inverted prism, then the colors, 7 colors, they become again colorless. Yeah, here it is. So what we have equated this scientific thing as that the mind is that prism through which, when that singularity is passed, then it becomes many, one to many. And then how do we make this into singularity? To make that into singularity, all this which has come out of the prism, if passed through the inverted prism, then it becomes colorless. This is those two sides. From singularity, we go to multiplicity. From multiplicity, through the power of our conscious mind, which we call as intellect, it becomes unified, which is known as yoga. So the yoga is that process. There must be many questions. See, what I have done, that currently I'm explaining to you the role of mind and the role of buddhi. We are also running courses now, beginning 15th of May, where we will start with the healing processes. That means the course which will be for 5 days, and this will explain everything which is happening over here. As I had explained earlier to you when we started these courses, that in the Bhagavad Gita, in the first 10 lessons only, you will find that whatever are the problems of your life are not only identified, but at the same time, processes and procedures are given by which we can have unification. That means how to come out of the problems of your life. What are the methodologies that are given, right? So in verse 1, 2, 3, we talk in terms of what the problems are, how sympathetic nervous system creates problems, how parasympathetic nervous system then takes care of them. We say the power of dispersion, then power of joining them all together. These are the two parts. The change that you will find from any other Bhagavad Gita lessons is now we're starting with that we had explained that there are two parts of existence. Those two parts are, one, the external field, that is the field of matter. Then there is the second part. The second part is an inner field. We have absolutely no idea of what this inner field is. The inner field is the field of life and consciousness, and this inner field of consciousness is what we are discussing now. So when we had started with that, I had identified. Now, can I have that image of chakras, or rather where the 5 Pandavas were there? Yeah. Not this one, next one. Okay. See, there are more new people than the old ones. So I'll just take another couple of minutes to explain this. We had said that the existence has 2 parts. We forget about the existence and we start talking about the body. The body has 3 parts actually. First, we had said the physical body. The physical body is the body made of atoms, molecules, whatever you want to say, electrons, protons, or particles. The second part is the astral body. Just go back to the same image. The second part is the astral body, and the astral body is the body of thoughts, emotions, and feelings. Astral body is what controls the physical body, and there is another body known as causal body. Causal body creates the astral body. Astral body creates the physical body. Now, since I'm unable to interact with you guys guys, I do not know where I stand in the sense that how much are you assimilating? The important thing to note is that in the philosophical literature, all this is given, has got proof. Proof in the sense you can experience everything. Our problem had been that for hundreds of years, we have not taught our children, or we were not educated ourselves in these arts and sciences of our own physical body. Therefore, everything seems to be far-fetched. It looks like, hey, I don't know what this guy is talking about. Where is this body? How this body is? And I'm afraid in just a small this thing, because we are doing verse by verse by verse. Only 6 verses will take me 60 hours probably to teach what all this is. All that I am teaching is totally scientific. When you come to my courses, then you will find that now we start to go into the nitty-gritty and start telling you how this happens, how thoughts, emotions, and feelings can be controlled, how the power of intellect or the power of consciousness has got the ability to control the thought. Where is mind? Where is intellect? Where is I? Where is Chit, or rather the subconscious mind, the field of consciousness, and from there we begin to make control. These are techniques which are taken up. So first we started that the 5 Pandavas, we had already talked about the 7 chakras. The 7 chakras are Mooladhara chakra in the base of the spine. Then we have Swadhisthana chakra, which is about 2 inches above that. Then we have Manipur chakra around the solar plexus, or rather in the center of your stomach. Then there we have Anahat chakra in the breastbones, or in the center of the breastbones. Then we have Vishuddhi chakra, which is in the throat. Everything is happening on the backbone, mind you. Everything is happening on the backbone. The Ajna chakra is in between the eyebrows, and Sahasrara chakra is at the top. So just to explain the 5 Pandavas, if you look at the left, then the 5 Pandavas represent Yudhishthir, Bhim, Arjun, Nakul, and Sahdev. These are the 5 Pandavas. The 5 Pandavas also represent 5 elements. Earth, the lowest is Sahdev is earth, Nakul is water, Arjun is fire, then Bhim is air, and Yudhishthir is Akash. So we have Prithvi, Jal, that is earth, water, fire, air, and it. These are the 5 elements. These 5 elements are, when these 5 elements are spiritualized, then all problems that are associated with the senses of perception disappear. They disappear. So these 5 elements are then, please understand this, they are located on the vertebra, and they have to fight negative tendencies, 100 negative tendencies born out of the blind mind's desire. So you will realize that all these things are on this vertebra, and therefore all our methodologies to control this field of life and consciousness will have to be from here. So there is something in our philosophy which says Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Patanjali Yoga Sutra is the methodology by which the gyrations of your mind, that means thoughts, emotions, and feelings, are controlled. Because this is how and where the problems of our life exist. Give me that now. Patanjali soldiers of Patanjali. Yeah, great. In the verse 4, 5, 6, in the verse number 4, 5, 6, I had said there are very many names which are given, and these names are nothing but the warriors. However, there are warriors, there are forces, and at the same time, there is methodology. And Patanjali Yoga Sutra is a 8-limbed path. 8-limbed path which is divided into 2 portions. 4 paths for the physical world and 4 for the internal inner world. Now you see how this is totally different from anything that you have understood earlier if you have not read this type of Bhagavad Gita before. So the 8-limbed path is known as path of yoga or yo, right? The warrior whose name is Drishtiketu. So let me just first say, what are those 8 limbs? They are known as Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Dhyan, Dharana, and Samadhi. All these are the limbs doing which you begin to get rid of all problems of life. So first is Drishtiketu. This is Yam, the first one. He has come to help Pandavas. In other words, Pandavas in the story are depicted as people. There are 5 brothers. So 5 brothers. This is Drishtiketu. You have a moral code of conduct. The moral code of conduct is necessary. Here I am not talking of morality as such. Every single action of yours has got a consequence, and therefore the laws have to be obeyed, whether you like it or not like it. Freedom does not mean that I'll do anything and everything because I'm free. You are bound by law. You are bound by law. The laws are such that if you violate the laws, because see, what is God? In my opinion, God is a huge computer program. It's a big algorithm. He doesn't have time for you. He's not interested in your stories. He's not interested in your traumas and tragedies. He's not interested in your joys and sorrows. He is nirlipt. Nirlipt means he is away from that. He has made law. You follow the law, and that's what it is. If you don't follow the law, then you will be punished. Follow the law, you'll be rewarded. Don't follow the law, you'll be punished. Very, very simple mathematics that the God operates on. And Patanjali understood this very, very clearly. So Yam is your personal code of conduct. I will do this and not do this. I will follow ahimsa. I will follow dharma. I will not do this or that. And that's what the first Drishtiketu is given here. So Drishtiketu is a Sanskrit word. थोड़ा सा ऊपर करो. Drishtiketu is a Sanskrit word, and it is derived from the root word dris, bold, courageous. Ketu is chief or leader. Allegorically, it is the first limb of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. It is the moral conduct of discriminative intelligence. Mind क्या है? Mind is blind. Mind does not have the power of discrimination. It doesn't know anything, because we had explained in verse number 3 that mind is the screen on which the projections are made. What kind of projections are we talking of? When we go and see a movie, the projector has got a reel. It is projecting light, and that screen suddenly comes alive. Screen is quiet. Screen has got no role to play, but whatever appears on the screen of the mind, I see. Whatever I'm seeing, I'm also recording in my subconscious mind. So the code of conduct is that the mind, when the mind, which is operating through 5 senses of perception, has got no power of discrimination. Because it doesn't have the power of discrimination, you do whatever you want. Whatever the mind tells you to do, you do that. But the power of intellect always wants you. And therefore, the rules have to be followed. Not the rules of the mind, but the rules which are connected through buddhi to God. Let's say, this is for convenience, I'm using the word. So, connected to that algorithm. This is first. Second is niyam. We live in this universe. The universe is governed by laws. It's governed by law. It has a lie. Lie means it has got a rhythm. And what is it? I will not go to the galaxies level and this, that, but let's say the solar system. In the solar system, there is a definitive thing which happens. Night comes, the day comes, the sun rises, sun set. There are seasons seasons which come, everything is happening at a pace. Everything has a purpose. When the night comes, the entire change of chemistry happens not only in the body but also in the environment. When light comes, things start to change. In the night, for example, in the night, the plant life starts to breathe oxygen and ejects carbon dioxide. But as soon as the light comes, it is revolts. So there are laws, niyam, and that niyam we tend to violate. What happens with the young guys? Everybody, I'm sorry, in India, this is also happening a lot, but people sleep late, they snack late, they do not bother about the circadian rhythms. They'll sleep whenever they want, they'll wake up whenever they want. Therefore, they start to destroy their chemistry of the body. Niyam is an important aspect. Why? What is the problem? The problem is, here is a larger picture of the universe. You have to be in tune with it, but you are not. And therefore the conflict always manifests as pain. The conflict would be there and then it'll emerge as pain. So second part is that you have to follow niyam. What should you do with your body has got, or when and how you are doing is an important aspect of your wellness, right? So it has been derived from, So Shabya is the warrior shown in the Mahabharata, but he represents niyam, routine, circadian rhythm. Shabya is the root word which has been derived from Shiv. Shiv ka aata hai sea, in whom all things lie. It represents Patanjali's second observation, niyam, observance of rules for maintaining a lay or a rhythm with the nature, right? Third, Kunti Bhoj. Asan dikha doge? Please show me asan before we start to talk. So Kunti Bhoj represents asan. So we said 8 limbs, yam, niyam, asan. Asan is the practice. When we begin to do the practice of meditation, we sit in an asan. Asan, dikhao zara. Ram. No, I'm sorry. I want that image of back on the same life and consciousness. We're talking of chakras. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. Asan is when you begin to do the practice of meditation. Meditation is one of the strongest and one of the most essential aspects of healing. If you have to heal yourself, meditation is a must. You're sitting down. You're sitting in this position. When you are sitting in asan, then what happens? The backbone is straight. Your chin parallel to the ground. You're looking forward, and then whatever you have to do, you begin to do. The five elements, that means earth, fire, water, air, ether, are all aligned. And therefore, in the second verse, where Vyurachna, where in chapter 1, verse 2 and 3, we had seen that this was already spoken of, that Duryodhana is looking at the formation created by Drishtadyumna along with Pandav. He's telling his guru, that is Dronacharya, that look at this, look at the formation in which they are coming. You have to fight them. And therefore, this asan is one of the most important things where you have taken position. You are ready to fight the negative tendencies. In the story of Mahabharata, Kunti was given a boon by Rishi Durvasa that she could invoke any god that she wanted. So she invoked the gods and she got 5, actually 6. We'll talk currently only of the 5. She got 5 sons. Who are these sons? These sons are the progenies of God. Yudhishthir is Dharmaraj, or Bhim is Vayu Putra. Then Arjun, he is Indra Putra. and Nakul and Sahdev, they come from Sanat Kumar. So all these 5 elements were invoked by Kunti. Now can we come to Kunti Bhoj, please? Good. So Kunti Bhoj is what? Kunti Bhoj is the father of Kunti. Kunti is the power to call or invoke. These are 2 words, Kunti and Bhoj. Kunti is the power to call or invoke, root words ku, to call the power of creative forces. Bhuj, to take possession. Bhuj is actually a pillar, a pillar. Therefore, Kunti Bhoj represents the posture. He represents the posture, that this is the posture on which you have to sit. This is the beginning. Kunti is the mother of 5 Pandavas, and Kunti Bhoj is the father of Kunti. So Kunti Bhoj here represents right posture or asan, the 3rd limb of Patanjali Yoga Sutra, a formation of sublime creative forces of nature in the battle with the evil. They align straight on the cerebrospinal cord. So this is our central theme on which we keep talking about. Okay? Yeah. Next, Yuyudhan. Yuyudhan represents pranayam, which is breathing, giving direction to consciousness. देखिए ऐसा है कि a lot of gaps are there, which will be actually covered during the course. But if you have any questions up to now, you are please welcome to interrupt and ask me. I'll be more than happy to talk to you on that. So Yuyudhan is derived from Yuddha, fight, one who fights for his own benefit. Pranayam is the technique. Yes, in my last lecture, we had been talking about, somebody had asked me the question, I'm sorry, I forgot the name, that there are 5 kosh. Kosh means 5 parts of the body, and we call them Annamaya Kosh, Pranamaya Kosh, or then Manomaya Kosh, then Jnanmaya Kosh, and after that Anandamaya Kosh. These are 5 parts. The first part, first kosh we said Annamaya Kosh. This is physical body. The physical body is an inert body made of electrons, protons. It is atoms and molecules, but in the structure that we have, that is the human structure, they become conscious. There is something known as consciousness. They become conscious. Pranayam is energy plus consciousness. It is the consciousness, that is, pran is supposed to be energy. Pran is what connects the material with the non-material. That means pran is responsible for connection of physical with the ethereal. Can we again have the diagram of chakras? Yeah. So if you look at the left-hand side figure, what you will find that in the top is Krishna. In our own body, we have infinite powers. These powers can be kindled. These powers can be experienced. Needless to mention, the techniques and other things are come from Patanjali Yoga Sutra only, and what is that? Krishna is at the top, which is known as Sahasrara Chakra, and the bottom is the Earth Chakra. There are 2 poles, magnetic poles. The 2 magnetic poles is, one is driven by the power of intellect, which is connected to Krishna, and the second is the pole, which is of man, that is mind, connected to the outside world of sensory perception. These are the 2 poles which pull in their own directions the self. Who am I? That's a separate thing. Currently, we are not talking about it. They pull you in that direction, in their direction. They want you to come to them. In our lessons that we are talking, now you are able to connect the sympathetic, parasympathetic nervous system along with the central nervous system, and then we have connected so far the various parts of Patanjali Yoga Sutra, which will be now being talked about. I'm leaving at 4. That means I'm leaving you at Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam. Pranayam is the power with which हमें वापस ले आना प्राणायाम पे. हाँ, yeah. Pranayam is represented by Yuyudhan. It has been derived from the word Yuddha, fight, war, one who fights for his own benefit. Pran is the life force. Pran is the life force. That means the question that comes, how did inert matter become conscious? I am made of atoms and molecules. So is the entire physical universe. Even if we go, when we go scientifically, we realize that we are made from some finer particles. These finer particles then get converted into atoms and molecules. How did matter become conscious? The power to change this power to change matter into consciousness comes from prana. And that is what here pranayam is. It's a connection between the material and non-material. Yuyodhan represents Shraddha. Shraddha is a magnetic pull towards the divine. We just now saw the figure. Shraddha means it's a feeling. It's a feeling of the heart. It's not a measurement. You cannot say how much Shraddha I have, but it's a magnetic pull of your heart. So in our context, faith in the path to fight the evil. I can fight the evil. I'm suffering. I need to be happy. What do? I have the power to become anybody, anything, and everything. I'll hold it till there. We'll start talking about the last four, which is our pratyahar, dhyan, dharana, samadhi. Dharana, dhyan, samadhi. This is what we will start to do. Dikha do. Please show 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. And then we will start talking about it in our next class. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm doing is that I'm open to questions. Whatever questions that you have at the moment, please go right ahead and I'll be happy to answer them. Yeah.
I think what you explained was very good, and I think we need to listen to it again to be able to digest it more. It again to digest it more. It was very good, and so I think questions will arise afterward. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sure. See, the problem is, in my opinion, when we are reading Bhagavad Gita, then we should not give a gap of 1 week in between. Because if we start to do it, because even I begin to fumble, I can't connect with you, and therefore I do not know how much are you assimilating what you are. I can't see, look into your eyes, and that's what my problem is. That I found that it was even disjointed in my mind. Thanks very much for saying that it's an excellent lecture. But in my opinion, that I have not done justice to the lecture at all. But when we do our classes, then explanations will be more detailed. The detailed explanations, because we'll be connected only to what we are learning. If we are wanting to say that we are wanting to learn healing, then this is what it will be. Patanjali Yoga Sutra is one of the best things that the Hindu philosophy has given to the world. It's totally outstanding, and the Gita, needless to mention, has encapsulated everything in it. Unless you begin to understand right from verse 1 and remember it, or at least connected the lessons to 1, 2, 3, 4, then it will become very joyful for you. It will become very joyful for you. Because since the time I started to do these, I have become very, very interested in the Bhagavad Gita, despite the fact that I was a businessman. I have left it. I left my business. I'm doing this now almost full time. And I am very, very excited what our knowledge it is. And I wish I could expand my reach and be with a lot more people, young boys and girls. At least here in India, I'm teaching a lot of young boys and girls who are interested, who begin to see the value. You have to have curiosity. You have to ask questions. You need to say, hey, just tell me why this, why that. And so here it is Kashish Verma. Please raise your hands, Kashish. She's my co-host. She's 18 years, and I started with her some 4 months back, and that time she was 17. but we have been able to make headway with some young boys, girls, and that's really wonderful. Yeah. So, anything more? Otherwise, we will meet next time. And
may I ask a question, please?
yeah, please go ahead.
It sounds very silly, actually, but it was just occurred to me when you said if God was an algorithm.
Yeah.
If that was the case, then where does the punishment and reward situation come into the picture? Why would there be punishment or reward?
The reward, simple. And when it is not, let's take the example that you are going in the night, there's red light, you will stop. But now you begin to say that, hey, there's nobody who's looking. There's not even a camera. Then should I violate? And you violate. You say, hey, nothing will happen. No. The God's law is very clear. When a law has been made, you have to obey. Otherwise, you will be punished. Which way? That we is already made. There is this theory of karma. That's what most people are used to listening to. So there is this theory of karma that it will happen. But let's say natural laws. The law is that I have a glass in my hand. If I throw it on the ground, it will break, irrespective of anything. Why? Because that's the law. The gravity will pull it. It will break it because of the fragility of the material. If I have a steel glass in my hand, when it drops down, it will start to ring. It will make some sound. Those are the laws. There are laws of thermodynamics, there are laws of motion, there are quantum field laws. Those laws are the laws which will happen irrespective of who you are, irrespective of your caste, creed, or religion. So these
I think I think what it means is if you do something wrong, you will suffer the consequences.
Yes.
Not God is going to punish you.
Yeah,
if you're going to go through. Yeah, so that is the principle of it. I would
absolutely. This is what I was wanting to say. That thanks for helping me out. That this is how it is going to be. There's no other way. I'm not listening. I'm not interested in your stories. I'm not interested in whatever your traumas, tragedies, this, that is happening. The God is nirlip. See, here again, we had taken this example right in the very beginning when we started to teach Bhagavad Gita. Who's Krishna to Arjun? May I ask you this question, Meena? Who's Krishna to Arjun?
Mamu.
Yeah, that's all right. But at the same, in the battlefield, why is he not fighting?
Mhm.
Why is not fighting?
He's being his guru.
Okay,
He's guiding.
in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is the charioteer. He's driving. He says, "I'm with you. I will drive through the battlefield, but I will not fight. I'm not going to do your dirty work or whatever. I'm not going to do your dirt." So he's only a philosopher, guide, and a charioteer. The God is always for everyone. Arjun is a personification of me and you. So the God is nirlipt, means he's not concerned. He is helping you out in the sense of guiding you through it. You are taking cues from God. God says there is a law and the law must be obeyed. And when you obey the law, then you'll win the battle. The battle is between bad and good. The 100 corals, they represent the propensities of the mind. They are negative tendencies. Those negative tendencies, they start to create a disbalance of the body. Cortisol start to flow in your body. Your blood pressure goes up. Your breathing goes up. Your immune system goes down. Your digestion goes down. And then you are only ready to fight or flight. So fight and flight response is created. You're always alert. I'm in danger. I'm in danger. I'm in danger. You take the help of God. I'm in danger. What do I do? It's what he's telling. You have to kill this. You have to kill that. This is happening. What was it that is creating this feeling of danger? Oh, the feeling of danger is my perception of fear. Is perception of my fear. So he said, remove that fear. Why? How? Well, fear is not there. There is no fear. It is there in your mind. So what will I do? Use the power. power of your intellect. Use the power of your intellect. How do I do? And that's what the whole my course is about. That what do I do? You will have to do such and such thing. And when you do this, then the negativity will go away. Then negativity will not remain with you. So this is a kind of a short answer. Yeah. Anything more? I keep putting up some short videos related to these subjects. I do hope that you are seeing on the group. It'll be great if you can. And I also can advise you that if we have the sessions like which are more quicker there than these one week, because it's a heavy material. It's not easy for everyone to understand, but nonetheless, it has got some very deep knowledge available.
Yes,
Namaste. Can I ask a question, please?
Yeah. Please go ahead.
At what stage and in what form do emotions come into this whole scientific thing? Because emotions seem for me, emotions seem to upset the scientific balance of what is being created or what is being destroyed. Maybe I missed it, but I just would like to know, or maybe I'm really naive, I didn't get it at all. I don't know.
No, I'll tell you, as far as the science is concerned, science has absolutely no idea of who the seer is. I see my hand. Okay, this is my hand. But the question that I ask is, who saw this hand? You say, I saw this hand. Who's this I? And that's where the science says, hey, it's a composite property. It's a emergent consciousness is an emergent property. No. Consciousness is not an emergent property. Consciousness is the essence. Now, the second thing, what is consciousness? Experience, thoughts, emotions, feelings. Where did these thought became an emotion? Hey, what is this you are talking? This is qualia. I don't know. Science did not bother to find it. And even today, in this 2026, there are no answers with science. The answers come from spirituality. Spiritually, what happens? The mind sees it. The mind, abhi projection, I talked about the projection. So the projections came on the screen of the mind. The buddhi, that is the power of intellect, it dissected. And the power of intellect, when it dissected, it presented it to I, me, I saw. But whatever I saw, I had also assimilated, or rather I also saved into my server, a data bank, which I call in Sanskrit chitta, otherwise it is subconscious mind. Everything that I have saved is what becomes neural networks in my mind. Those are my ideas, those are my thoughts, those are my emotions, those are the things which I have become. So idea of fear, joy, love are different from different people. The emotion is a flow of chemicals. When I feel joyful, there is a different set of hormones which are produced. And when I am in pain, or when I am in anxiety, fear, worry, then there are different emotions, or there are different chemicals. So the negative tendencies are represented by cortisol. The positive tendencies are represented by serotonin, oxytocin, or dopamine. And so these are different sets. So science will give you up to here. But the morality, or we start to call morality, and I want to say, no, it's not morality. It is the right thing. We have put it under the spiritual topic. Whatever cannot be explained by science, they put it under the realm of spirituality. And when spiritualists try to explain, they say, hey, you have no proof. You have no proof. Where is the proof that I is something? Where is the proof that consciousness is? Which is your equation? You don't have any equation. But let's say when we say E is equal to MC square, this is a simple equation. But ma'am, someday just open up Google or whatever it is, and you say, how to solve it? Oh my God, it runs into pages and pages. You'll be surprised. It's such a big, huge equation. Well, yes, this is a huge equation. Though, and to solve it, you will need many years. But when you want to come to a spiritualist, you want to say, hey, you tell me now. Then you go to the elevator pitch. You become an Insta fan. You become a real fan. You say, no, you should explain. You have my attention for 1 minute. If you can convince me, I'll be coming to you. Otherwise, go to hell. This is our problem. This is the problem. The subject which can be understood by a normal human being, it takes many years, has to be explained in a couple of hours. The world, as we see around us, is going to dog. There's nothing good in the universe any longer. I'll just give you one chota sa scientific thing. I don't have the right data available with me. The normal state of consciousness, which is a waking state of consciousness, my brain emits a frequency known as alpha, 8 to 11 cycles per second. There's a scientist way back in 1962 or something. His name was Schumann. He calculated what is the normal frequency of the Earth's atmosphere. Surprisingly, it was 7.83 cycles per second. As the time has passed by, today that frequency has become around 60 or 62. This research is being conducted by Heart Math Institute of California. They have a data. What is happening? Those are vibrations. They are sympathetic vibration. They are forcing you into their vibration. You play a guitar, you play a sitar. What is happening? They are sympathetic vibrations. They can create melodies and they can create cacophony. Exactly, this is what happens. That our emotions are not in our control. And therefore, we have to go within. There is no way out. You have to go within. What is Shraddha? Shraddha means, मेरा बिलीफ है, मैं जानता हूं, मैं जो हूं कृष्ण के पास जाऊंगा. कैसे जाओगे? बाहर से जाने का कोई रास्ता नहीं है. तुम्हारे मन में श्रद्धा, हृदय में श्रद्धा होगी, तब तुम इस सीढ़ी के सहारे से आसन बना के बैठ के तुम जो है ट्रेवल करोगे. द्रुपद समझाया था. द्रुपद अब शायद आपको अच्छी तरह समझ में आ जाए जिन लोगों ने पहले अटेंड किया. द्रुपद क्या है? ध्रुव, तेज, पद, steps. Drupad is moving fast. What he has, what is his nature? Deep dispassion for the material. There are two parts of life. First, physical, another, life and consciousness. Life and consciousness. He has deep dispassion for the material. I don't want that. What do you want then? I want peace. I want joy. I want happiness. I want anand. So where is that anand? Anand is inside you. Where is this inside? Take me to that inside. You ask your children, you ask people around you, you say, what kind of a nonsense is being talked that inside? Where is the inside? When I look inside, I can only hear disturbing thoughts, emotions, feelings. Then I know inside. What is my inside? Inside is bones, blood, all these things. I can't see inside. You're right. How will you see inside? You will see inside only when you move along these channels, unless you are told what is this inside. How will you do? What is it? So I'm trying. I speak about it. I talk about it, and I'm being helped by Ram and then Kashish, both of them. And
It's absolutely interesting what you say.
yes, of course. Thank you very much. I think this part I will agree. Totally agree. I'll totally agree. So my approach is that I am talking things scientifically. I'm talking scientific. I'm not talking this nonsense. Take it all anyway. No, it's all science. Any questions that you will answer, want to ask, I will give you an answer which will be valid answer. No woo-woo science.
Yes, it was very good. Thank you.
Yes, we learned so much tonight. And
Thank
there's
you.
so much more to learn.
Yes.
Thank you.
Your example of the light, the ray
Yeah.
of light, and then the prism, and
Yeah.
then there's different colors. It just brought us to understand the mind, how it
Yeah.
takes it, and how it then converts into something, and how it then goes back to its normal form. That was
Yeah.
so well explained. Very nice.
Yeah. So that is what it is. So these are the kind of small things with which we understand that yes, there is a possibility. There's a possibility. It's not that it's become possible, and therefore then you have to go through the processes without which it's not possible, right?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you very
Goodbye.
much. So we call it a day, and I love this when there are questions coming up from you guys. If you ask questions, then it makes more lively, more interesting, and you also learn because you are interacting. And therefore, I keep saying that when you are coming to this class, please put on your videos so that we could actually interact and you could be benefited. You could be benefited. And right? Sure. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank
You
you.
have been wonderful, and I look forward to meeting with you again. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bless.
Bye.
All right.
Thank
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks very much.
Thank you.